Another day, welcome back to the channel everybody. Today we're watching The Big Bang Theory. This is the 10th episode of the 6th season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for the link in the description below. Just clicking it, put the password in and enjoy. It's the last episode. I personally enjoyed it. I thought it was one of the best ones of the season. Good banter between everybody. You know, Howard, he's got a new car, he's got a Mini, and basically at work, you know, he's used Sheldon's allocated space. Now, Sheldon doesn't park there. He's just had a space chilling for so long. He doesn't own a vehicle, so obviously it's unoccupied. And Howard's gone and he's got the spot. Sheldon's upset about this, and obviously all episode they've been back and forth, back and forth. Sheldon's like, look, mate, if you take my spot without asking, I'm just going to take yours. And he took his helmet. He's an Iron Man one. Then obviously all episode they was just playful bantering against each other, and this kind of rolled on into the females, the partners. So in Penny's apartment, Bernadette was sat there and Amy was sat there, and obviously Bernadette was sticking up for Howard, saying that, well, he's got a car, he is a big time astronaut right now and he deserves this space, where obviously Amy's sticking up for Sheldon and saying, well, no, that's not the case. Them two started getting at it head to head and bickering, and Amy ended up leaving, Bernadette ended up leaving, but Amy's ended up going to her apartment. They've ended up talking. Amy went to hit her with the bag. She ducked Bernadette, hit Penny in the face. You know, crazy episode. It's a lot of laughs anyway. Personally, like I said, really enjoyed it. And then we ended it with everybody kind of making up and sitting down and being friends. And Penny's the only one that's left with a bruised and bloody face. So, very interesting stuff. Great episode. Hopefully today's is just the same. Thanks for checking out. If you do enjoy it, please smash a like. Really helps out. Subscribe if you do. And as always, let's jump into today's episode.
Is anyone else troubled by the Spider-Man theme song?
What'd trouble you? It's like your third favorite cartoon theme song.
It is. Right behind do-do-do-do-do, Inspector Gadget.
Do you remember Inspector
Teenage
Gadget?
Mutant Ninja Turtles. Heroes in a half shell. Turtle power. I can think of many things Spider-Man can't do that a spider can. One, crawl in your ear and die. Legally leave Guatemala without a passport.
Spiders give me the GBGBs.
It's heebie-jeebies.
I was thinking we could have a little film festival tonight. The theme, movies that kill their franchises. Miss Congeniality 2, Armed and Fabulous. I mean, you know a movie's bad when my homegirl Sandy B can't save it.
I'm having dinner with Bernadette and her parents.
Well, you know what I like to do when I'm forced to speak with those beneath my intellectual station? I bring up an interesting topic, you know, like the difference between Spider-Man and spiders. Despite popular lore, there is no place in the continental United States, Alaska, or Hawaii from which one can dig straight through the center of the earth and come up in China. Amy's taking me to a memorial service. It's for one of her colleagues who is of Asian descent.
The thing is there, right, I think that's a good idea actually about movies that ruin franchises. It's also series that ruin franchises as well, you know. Like you could be watching a show and it could be like good for 4 series and the 5th one's just absolutely dead, and it's like, mate, it's never recovered or never gets picked up. I've watched a few of them like that. Some of them survived the blip. Honestly, some of them hit the dip and then they come back and they pull it back, and then a couple of seasons later it's strong again, but not many can survive that. Now, it's interesting here that they were saying that he's going to speak to his, having dinner with her parents, and they've got nothing in common, but to be honest, last time they had a conversation, he was scared of him, wasn't he? And then he sat down and he was actually calling him son. I thought it was a nice moment. Now, obviously, it was going like he never really thought that he'd be the right man for his daughter and X, Y, and Z, but I feel like it was a good bonding moment between them last time they had an encounter.
Amy? Amy? Yeah. Oh, right. Funeral. Amy.
I think I'm too sick to go to the funeral.
You're sick? You poor kid. We'll see ya.
Aren't you gonna take care of me?
Me? No. No, I'm not that kind of doctor.
But our relationship agreement clearly states that when one of us is sick, the other must take care of them.
The intent behind that clause was to
me.
force you to take care of me when I'm
Yeah.
Never mind. Good night, Sheldon.
Amy. 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 I made a commitment in writing to comfort you in times like this. Let's get this over with.
Mate, regardless of how he acts inside, that's a big step for Sheldon.
So how have you been?
Fine.
How you liking retirement?
It's fine.
You ever really think about the Spider-Man theme song? How's that dinner coming?
I just put it in. It's gonna be a while.
So, Mrs. Rosenkowski, you took that trip to the Grand Canyon. How was it?
It was good.
Not a conversationalist,
I had no
are
idea
they?
you were the chatty one.
Like, would you chalk that down as being okay, or would you chalk that down as being kind of rude? Like, I think that's kind of rude to me. Like, regardless of whether you get on with somebody or not. First of all, Howard's never done anything wrong, in my personal opinion, that I've seen to them. And to just engage in one line of conversations, you usually get that when you've pissed the other half off. Do you know what I mean? And you come home from work and, are you okay? Yeah. What have you done today? Nothing. What do you want? Like, you hungry? Do you want to eat? Yeah. It's like, fucking hell. Do you know what I mean? Like, what have I done? That's literally a position that he's in. I feel like, you know, he's trying to extend the olive branch, and then none of them are taking it. They're just literally being a little bit rude to him.
2.2. Like I'm even trying to get better.
I have to say, I'm finding your bedside manner a little lacking.
I'm sorry. I just want you to get better as soon as possible. This may look like a Tic Tac, but it is really a powerful medication specifically designed to cure your illness as well as freshen your breath. I still have to put a cold rag on your head, sing to you, and apply vapor rub to your chest.
You want to rub something on my chest?
All over it.
Maybe we should start with that.
Now, you may notice some tingling.
Oh, I'm counting on it.
I knew that she was going to say that.
Okay, dig in.
Hold up.
Oh,
Bless
they're
us,
praying.
O Lord, for these thy gifts, which we are about to receive from thy bounty, through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
So, Dad, have you done any fishing lately?
I'm going next weekend.
Oh, you like to fish?
Oh, if he didn't like it, he wouldn't go.
Hey, Dad, maybe you could take Howard fishing sometime. Give you guys a chance to get to know each other better.
No. We know each other well enough. He's been talking my ear off all night.
Your favorite fella's gone fishing.
Well, hang on a second. Bernie, next weekend we have that thing.
Oh, that thing. No, I canceled that thing.
Thanks for the help.
Well, she was the one that just set you up with that thing, innit? She just set him up to actually go out, so she's not going to get his back, is she? When he's the one that's trying to cancel bonding with her dad. I don't know, it seems like her mum's kind of scared of her dad, but you don't... I don't really... Not like it, like he beats her up, it's just like... I don't know, she's just dead quiet. Like, maybe she's just an older version of Bernadette, but Bernadette speaks out quite a bit, though, doesn't she? She seems to be, like, secluded and, like... You know what I mean? Like, really, really quiet.
You don't want to look foolish doing something, you should practice. Do you know how many beef Wellingtons I made by myself before I invited you guys over? You can see them here, here, and here.
Roger's probably right. You should get someone to give you some pointers.
Do either of you guys know how to fish?
No.
Step 1, worms.
Ew!
Now pick one up.
Really?
You're gonna have to do it when you're fishing. Pick up a worm and put him on this hook.
Sorry, Mr. Worm. Sherm the worm.
You got this, buddy?
Yeah, come on, Howard. Hook that worm.
You can do it.
The control group displayed significantly fewer genetic abnormalities.
Rub my chest again.
Is that Sheldon's top?
No, I need to get you down for a nap. And for some reason, that vapor rub gets you all fired up.
Hey, I brought you some drugs we've been working on in the lab. This is proving really good for congestion, but there's a slight chance it can make your tears burn like acid, so if you take it, happy thoughts. This is a really good expectorant, although some test subjects reported lactating uncontrollably when they heard music.
Okay, here's the deal. I don't need your medicine. I'm not sick.
You've just been lying to him?
See the stuff in my nose? Rubber cement. I'll tell him.
Amy, would you be strong enough to bathe yourself, or do you need my help?
I'll tell him tomorrow. Mama needs a bath.
You're gonna have to know how to gut it. So, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your knife, slice him right up the belly. Now, you don't want to cut too deep into his guts or the blood will just squirt all over your face.
My dad was an anthropologist. The only father-son time he spent was with a 2,000-year-old skeleton of an Etruscan boy.
Mine just took me to his gynecology office. I got so bored I'd put vaginal lubricant at the bottom of my shoes and pretend I was ice skating.
Well, my quality father-son time was spending my adolescence looking out the window, waiting for my dad to come back someday to do this.
Great. Here you go. What you're gonna do is you're gonna stick your thumb down his throat, grab the guts, and pull. Oh, look, it's a female. You can see all the eggs.
The thing is with that, like I would do it with some gloves on. I don't mind doing things like touching horrible stuff if my hands were covered. You know, if you had some like big yellow gloves on, you could just dip your hands in here and there and just throw all the muck away and all that. I have no problem. But like doing it with your hands, getting it all in your nails and stuff like that, it's a bit disgusting, isn't it? But in this instance here, okay, he's never been fishing and he might not be good at it, but at the end of the day, he's saying that he's always had an absentee father and he's got a chance to actually, I won't say have a do-over, but he's got a chance to actually do some of the stuff that he maybe always wished that he'd done when he was a kid. And, you know, there's no better way to like achieve something that you've never done before for the first time. So like having these father-son moments, going fishing, watching sports, you know, going out and doing activities, doesn't matter what age you are, once it starts happening and you start getting involved, that's when you start being happy. And maybe this is what he needs, but obviously right now their relationship kind of like togetherness is not very strong and it's got to start somewhere, so hopefully it's here.
Oh, Sheldon, am I glad you're back? Taking a turn for the worse. I think I'm gonna need another bath.
While you were sleeping, I took a cheek swab and had it cultured in the lab. I got the results back. Yeah, have you developed any of the following symptoms? Warm sensation in the trouser region, also known as full-blown liar, pants on fire.
But I really was sick at the beginning. It's just been so nice having you take care of me.
Well, it pains me to say it, but I think some form of penalty is in order so as to discourage this type of behavior in the future. In a perfect world, I'd lock you in a stockade in the public square. That probably requires a permit. It's a tad old school, but my father was not one to spare the rod when my brother would sneak into his truck and drink his driving whiskey.
Are you saying you want to spank me?
But I don't want to. But it looks like you left me no choice.
Been a very bad girl.
It must be so hard not to laugh when you're doing these scenes, innit? It must be so hard.
That's what you're wearing?
No good. The guy at the sporting goods store said these are what fishermen wear.
I wouldn't mind shooting some ducks in the morning.
Wait, now we're shooting things? Sir, I'm flattered that you invited me, and I really want you to like me, but I don't think this trip is the way to do it.
I tried to back out too. My wife said I had to go.
Really? Your wife makes you do stuff?
You're an astronaut, and your wife makes you do things, and she's only 4 feet tall. There's an Indian casino near Palm Springs. You know how to shoot craps?
At dice games, I was the Temple Bethel Hebrew School Yahtzee champion.
Something to bond over.
Teach you how to play. Call me Mike.
Boy, we're just married to a couple of ball busters, huh, Mike?
That's my wife and daughter you're talking about.
Isn't it?
Are you prepared to receive your punishment?
I don't want to disturb the people next door while you discipline me. Oh my.
Excuse me. You're not supposed to be enjoying this.
And maybe you should spank me harder.
Maybe I will.
Honestly, I can't wait for these two to actually get and do the deed. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at the seasons, they're slowly, progressively getting closer, more intimate, but like, not in Sheldon's intentional way. But they are doing it. You know, like, if you look at today's episode, yeah, like, I don't know how many times he may have seen her naked before, but he's clearly seen it in today's episode. If you looked at the last episode, she's showing him her bikini wax this episode. Obviously, spanking her. He's rubbing stuff on her chest. He's bathing her. Do you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't realise it, but he is getting more and more contact with her. And at one point, he's going to then end up, obviously, just being normal. And well, yeah, when I say normal, you know, this is what everybody perceives as normal. You know what I mean? Everybody's got their own view on life and how things are. And it's going to be interesting to see, obviously, Sheldon, when he gets into a position. Because it's the same. Do you know what I mean? It's like when people have, like, friends with benefits. You know, two people are fine chilling, sleeping with each other, just being friends, but then you always get that one person that falls into the relationship first, and they could potentially ruin it or create the relationship, and always somebody falls. Now, I think from the get-go, it feels like Amy's always been in a position where she kind of likes a bit of intimacy contact. You know, she's a similar Sheldon, but she's always been open and more engaging in fun and activities and even sexual desires, you know what I mean? Where Sheldon, he hasn't, and I'm just waiting for that moment where he actually falls into it and wants to do stuff himself voluntarily. Do you know what I mean? Like, not feeling forced. You know, he feels like this is a discipline exercise or whatever you'd call it here with Amy at the end, but she's absolutely loving it. So I don't know. I'd love it to go from the point of being a reason, do you know what I mean? Like discipline, to like just a feeling. Just let's do something together. You know what I mean? That would be really good. We don't see them much yet, but I see the relationship getting closer and closer, more intimate. I'm just waiting for that moment. That's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. Now, if you think about it, there was two stories running this episode. Obviously, Howard and Sheldon and Amy's. And it's interesting because both of them are kind of like seeking, I wouldn't say approval, but like closeness, you know what I mean, to the companion, if that makes sense. You know, if you look at Amy, she was obviously sick when Sheldon first attended her apartment, but then as it progressed and she's seen that she was getting closer, he was spending more time with her, she was enjoying the two being together, and she was trying to get a little bit closer towards him. Where if you look at Howard, you know, he's trying to impress Bernadette's dad. Now, he's obviously never had a father before, so it's obviously hard on him. It's probably doubly hard, to be honest, because obviously it's intimidating for him to be around an authoritative father figure, but then it's also Bernadette's dad as well, and he don't want to make a bad impression and make it look like his little girl has married the wrong guy, and he's just trying to put his best foot forward, do you know what I mean? And he's trying to seek approval / get closer towards her dad, and going to the apartment, getting Penny to help him, you know, like fish and cut the fish in half and pull the guts out and stuff like that, made him realise that probably, you know, it is best going there. And like Leonard was saying, you know, you've always had an absentee father, you know, you've never done any of this when you was younger, so maybe the time to do it now. So he's gone, he's bought his gear, he's posted all his fix on Facebook, he's loving it, he's gone there, he's speaking to him, he said, look, do you know what? To be honest, I only agreed to do this because Bernadette said that I had to, and I really do want to spend time with you, but like I don't think this trip is the right way. And obviously, her dad, who I actually thought was, I would class it as rude because he wasn't engaging in conversations. He was just dashing in one-liners at the start of the episode. Said, look, you know what I mean? I'm in the same position. I tried to back out of it a few times, but instead of us going fishing, why don't we get a common interest? You know, I like gambling or going casino, and you like playing dice games, as he was saying. I'll teach you how to play. Do you know what I mean? And maybe that's where they get their bonding. So I think it'd be really good seeing an episode where Howard and him get closer, to be honest, because I feel like he's seeking his approval every time he talks about her dad. And, you know, it must be a good feeling that once you've attained that and you can become actually like pally friends. Like today's episode, he's gone from calling him sir to, is he called Mike? And it'd be nice to see in a couple of episodes or future ones where they're actually bonding and having a laugh together and a beer. That's the future end goal for Officer Howard, and I would like to see them in that position. Thanks for checking out today's episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you do. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.